Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Collins and this is the 01 Creations YouTube channel. On this channel, I'm going to focus on 3D printing and painting anything from miniatures to statues to things like the DeLorean here or from Dan to Dan, Okaroon's mask. Today I'm going to dive headfirst into resin 3D printing. It's not something I've done in about maybe 4 years or so. Decided to get back into it, got an Elegoo Saturn IV Ultra, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. So today I am going to go over all the things that I did wrong. So hopefully it might help some people who watch this to do things right. I am by no means an expert in resin 3D printing. I'm just getting started, so I hope that as we go through this, we both learn a little bit. And I want to give a shout out to the Lishi. I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing this software. The Lychee Slicer. It's a great slicer. They have a really great community on Discord, both that community and the community on resin printing over on Reddit really helped me get this first resin print finished and successful. So please like, subscribe, leave comments down below on things you would like to see me do in the future, and let's get into it. So here, ladies and gentlemen, is the part that I wanted to print in resin. So this is the back manifold section to the DeLorean print that you see right here. I originally did all the parts in FDM. That's what it was designed to be. Technically, the print was designed to be multicolor printed. I do have an AMS system on my P1S, but I did not have all the colors in stock. And part of this channel isn't just about printing, it's also about painting. So I didn't really want to do the multicolor printing thing. So I originally printed this manifold, and it was probably the only piece of the FDM stuff that I printed that just didn't look right. The rounded pipes, the layer lines were just really bad. I tried several different methods and nothing worked out. So I tried smoothing it with resin and cornstarch, which is my go-to trick to fill in layer lines. Sanded, but after I got through painting it, I didn't like it. I didn't like the look. I didn't like the feel of it. So I decided to do this in resin. That's the reason I got the resin printer, was so that I could do certain things in much greater detail with less finishing of the model on my part. So I can't really show you the finished product. I didn't take video or pictures of it. I just glued it onto the DeLorean here on the back. But I am going to take you into the Lychee software, the Lychee software, and kind of show you originally how I had it on the plate, where it originally failed, and the things I did to get a successful print. All right, guys, and here is where we have our successful print. So this is not a video on how to do good supports. This is not a video on orientation. I am too new at this to give you information on that. I'm simply going to go over where my print failed, why it failed, and how I fixed it. The Lychee Slicer community, their YouTube channel, I'll have a link down below. There's a ton of really good videos. I forget his name, but he is the American counterpart for their company, and he is very knowledgeable and does really great videos. So you can watch his slicing, his support videos, his resin settings video, tons of good stuff there. But for me, what I've got here is basically the manifold. Originally, I had this flat on the plate because I thought, since this bottom part here was flat, that would be a good section to put on the plate. This section did print, but then the pipes had a really hard time printing, and it fell twice. So I decided to, one, bring it off the plate about 5 millimeters. I decided on the bottom to do heavy supports along with some bracing. I did some medium supports in certain sections on the bottom. And then I did some light on these top two pipes here to make sure that they printed. I also hollowed it to save on some resin, and I did holes to make sure that everything was drained. Now, lychee slicer, again, I'm not really going to dive deep into that. If that's something that you would like me to do later on down the road, when I feel I am more comfortable with those kind of things, I'd be glad to make some videos on those kind of things. But basically, it has an island detector, so you can make sure that all your supports are done properly. It has a suction cup detector, where it will give you not only where the suction cup is, but its severity based on its layer stacking. It'll give you a color gradient. So I just went through and I made sure that I had enough drainage and holes and everything to make sure I had no suction cups. And after I got done and I hit print, this ended up being about a 5-hour print. But it turned out beautiful. It was smooth, it cleaned up really well, the supports were moved really well. There was a lot of scarring on the bottom, of course, because that's what heavy supports do. But the bottom I didn't care about. Literally, I just scraped it along a piece of sandpaper to flatten it out, make sure it was level. And then I glued it on the piece because that part of the model was not going to be shown. So that was a perfect spot to put the heavy supports. And again, I want to give a huge lychee slicer shout out, I guess you could say, because it really is good software. I will be subscribing to it. I'm in my 30-day trial right now. I've got 19 days left on it. But so far, I like it better than Chidu. I think the supports, for me in my workflow, it flows, it's better. I have not decided if I am going to do their library or not. They have a lot of really great models that I would love to print and paint, but that's extra money per month, and I'm not really sure. I would like to try it. I think I may do 1 month just so I could try a model, but these are pre-sliced, pre-hollowed, pre-split apart, pre-supported. It's supposed to be plug and print models, which would be really cool, because my end goal for this channel is to not only bring you guys news and help and settings and talk about 3D printing, is to also print things and paint them. I try to paint live if I can, when I have time. And then I do painting compilations of videos. So my end goal is at least once a month. I'm hoping more than that, but you know, it takes time to print, prep, and all that kind of stuff. But I would like to do 1 model a month for you guys and just have a lot of content that way.